Presentation about Vietnam. GuoJun, Berwin, Weixuan. Researcher and Berwin, Weixuan. Narrator, me. That's me. Actors, speaker, Berwin, Weixuan, me. Cameraman, Weixuan, me. A French naval squadron attacked Da Nang, launching a war of colonial conquest waged by French imperialism in several episodes between 1858 and 1884, resulting in the total annexation of the country. The French moved and took over in Vietnam without any kind of prior negotiation, socialization, or permission. The Berwin dynasty, which had just ascended the throne after repressing a large uprising of revolts, therefore had only a rudimentary infrastructure, that is to say, still in the basic elements and development. Thus, the royal court was not able to rule areas stretching for more than 22,000 kilometers from north to south, and thus the French colonies attacked the most vulnerable part, south. The king and the high-ranking dignitaries were afraid of the modern weapons used by the French. Plus, they were also misled through the French intentions, thinking that the French, having come from such a distance, were thinking less of conquering Vietnam than obtaining trade concessions. Plus, they have been continuously suppressing internal revolts, that is, the Vietnam, so it was impossible to mobilize all the nation's energies to oppose the aggression from the French. This prompted the court to implement a policy of peace and negotiation, which tried to limit the aggression by granting more and more trade concessions to the French. But of course, obviously, the French would not listen. They broke the rule and they continued to conquer more and more parts of Vietnam. The kings, still afraid, had no choice but to continue even more trade concessions while the French continued to take over. And eventually, this led to the total annexation of Vietnam. During the World War II times, the Germany launched attacks on the France. And in the end, the France lost. The French. And so, the French could not have enough control over her vast overseas colonies. And thus, Vietnam was fled. Alas, poor Vietnam. Japan, being an ally of Germany together with in the Axis, took over Vietnam. Thus, in order to obtain independence, Ho Chi Minh founded a resistance movement called the Viet Minh to fight for freedom for Vietnam from both Japanese and French. However, surely, with such a small army, they could not take the Japanese head on, and thus they fought a very successful guerrilla campaign against the Japanese during the last years of the Second World War. They used secret and unconventional naval warfare with tactics like ambush and hit and run. The US provided them with weapons and training. By 1945, the Viet Minh had about 500 soldiers led by Giap, Ho's military leader.
Cut!
By the time of the Japanese surrender in August 1945, Ho already controlled a substantial part of Vietnam. With the Japanese no longer in control, Vietnam was not under anyone anyway. Ho took advantage of this political battle. He took over Hanoi, Vietnamese capital, and on September 2, Ho delivered his declaration of independence for Vietnam.
Action!
I apologize for this poorly drawn Ho Chi Minh by Berwin. After independence, Vietnam split into two, the northern side and the southern side. The north was ruled by Ho Chi Minh and it was a communist country state. The south was ruled by another political leader and it was an anti-communist state. He was also supported by US as a very anti-communist. But Ho was not satisfied with the north. Ho wanted a unified Vietnam, only one Vietnam. And he knew that the only way to achieve a unified Vietnam was to attack the South.
An independent Vietnam is not enough. We want a unified Vietnam. So in order to do that, we need to attack the South.
And so, war was fought. North, the communists were led by Ho Chi Minh. South, the anti-communists were led by Giap, supported by US. However, due to the Christchurch Amendment, the US could no longer continue fighting the war and they retreated. But that did not mean that the war ended. North and South continued to fight it out and finally, in the end, South was conquered by North. And Vietnam was unified once more.
In the end, there was one unified Vietnam. However, many wars were fought. Ho launched guerrilla attacks against the southern Vietnam and also against the US from 1963 leading to a lot more death and atrocities. But unification was finally achieved in 1975 when the US withdrew and South Vietnam was conquered. This was 6 years after Ho's death in 1969 and